and I'm here to do the virtual story time from my house to your house today. I sure do miss seeing all of your faces at the library and can't wait to see you again. How are things going at home with you so far? I have a question. How many of you have pets at home? Anybody with a cat or a dog? You know, you can say hi to me by typing in the comments, and then I'll know you're here with me too. My question as to whether you have pets at home is because I'm going to read a story today about a lady who thinks her house is just a little too crowded. And she got some good advice from a very wise old man. So listen up, because you might need to know this soon. It is called A Squash and a Squeeze by Julia Donaldson, and Alex Scheffler is the illustrator. And Macmillan Children's Books has given us permission to read this to you today. A little old lady lived all by herself, with a table and chairs and a jug on the shelf. This is her in her house. A wise old man heard her grumble and grouse. There's not enough room in my house. Wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. And there's the wise old man. He does look wise, doesn't he? Take in your hen. That's her chicken, said the wise old man. Take in my hen? What a curious plan. I wonder why that would work. But she picked up her hen and in she goes. Well, the hen laid an egg on the fireside rug and flapped around the room, knocking over, the jug. Hi, Veronica. The little old lady cried, what shall I do? It was pokey for one, and it's tiny for two. My nose has a tickle, and there's no room to sneeze. My house is a squash and a squeeze. And she said, wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. She's throwing her arms up in the air. What to do? And there's the egg and the jug on the carpet. Take in your goat, said the wise old man. Would you bring your goat in the house? I'll tell you what, I've had my goat in the house, so it's okay. Take in my goat, what a curious plan. There she goes, taking her goat in the house. He doesn't want to go in either. Well, the goat, what do you think he did? He chewed the curtains and he trod on the egg. And then he sat down to nibble on the table leg. That goat is a problem. The little old lady cried, glory be! It was tiny for two and titchy for three. The hen pecks the goat and the goat's got fleas. My house is a squash and a squeeze. And she said, wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squeeze. And the goat is running amok. He says, well, take in your pig, said the wise old man. Take in my pig. What a curious plan. But she did as she was told, and she takes in her pig. Hi, Pat. So she took in her pig and kept chasing the hen. Oh, the pig kept chasing the hen and raiding the larder again and again. Do you know what a larder is? It's kind of the old-fashioned name for where you store your food. That pig was kind of a pig. The little old lady cried, "Stop, I implore. It was Titchy for 3, and it's Teeny for 4. Even the pig in the larder agrees. My house is a squash and a squeeze." And she said, "Wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze. Look at the mess they've made in the larder. The goat, the chicken, and the pig are all in the larder." It looks like here they've got their fill of all the food in the larder. They're all resting and relaxing a little bit. "Take in your cow," said the wise old man. "Take in my cow? What a curious plan. Have you ever had a cow in your house?" Well, she did. There is the cow, and the pig, and the chicken, and the goat. The cow took one look and charged straight at the pig, then jumped on the table and tapped out a jig. The little old lady cried, "Heavens alive, it was Teeny for 4. It was Weeny for 5. I'm tearing my hair out. I'm down on my knees. My house is a squash and a squeeze." And she said, "Wise old man, won't you help me, please? My house is a squash and a squeeze." They all look pretty comfortable in her house. Looks like quite a nice house. Here's the wise old man with his final thing. He says, "Take them all out," said the wise old man. "But then I'll be back where I first began." So she opened the window and out flew the hen. "Whew, that's better. At least I can sneeze again." She shooed out the goat, and she shoved out the pig. My house is beginning to feel pretty big. She huffed and she puffed and she pushed out the cow. "Just look at my house now. It's enormous now." There goes that cow. "Thank you, old man, for the work you have done. It was teeny for 5. It's gigantic for 1. There's no need to grumble and there's no need to grouse. There's plenty of room in my house." And now she's full of frolics and fiddle-dee-dees. It isn't a squash. It isn't a squeeze. And she's back to having just 1 in her house, and it's just right. So if your house is starting to feel small and filling up with people and pets, it'll get better once everybody gets back to work again. While they're there, enjoy their company. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Hi, Allison and Claudia. So I wanted to tell you all another thing is that, first of all, excuse my pause. I'm actually visiting my mom and dad, and they just walked in. So hi, Mom and Dad. Some of you celebrate Easter. Not everybody, but one of the customs that happens when you at Easter time is everybody gets a new set of clothes, a new hat, and try to be very fancy. So I did that too, and hope you'll all try to make your own hat as well. And I'm going to read a story about Fancy Nancy and her new Easter bonnet. Let me see if I can, get it on without it falling over. Oh my goodness. So this is my new Easter bonnet. And when you get your Easter bonnet, you can go out and go for your parade too. But let's read this. This is Fancy Nancy, Easter Bonnet Bugaboo, and it's bred to you with permission from Harper Festival. Isn't she cute? I think you probably all know who Fancy Nancy is, right? She really likes to use fancy words, so I'll try to pronounce them correctly. Ooh la la, it's Easter. My friends and I are making bonnets. That's a fancy word for hats. We use ribbon, feathers, and glue. Plus, I brought a chocolate Easter eggs for snacking. So here they are, all having their picnic. Doesn't that look like fun? Suddenly, I got an idea. Let's have a contest to see who has the best bonnet. You think I might win? Yeah, says Bree. Mrs. Devine can be the judge. Whoever wins can lead our Easter parade, says Lionel. I fancy up my bonnet with lots of accoutrements. That's French for fancy bits and pieces. Here she is with all her accoutrements. Voila! My bonnet is more than beautiful. It's breathtaking. Wow, Nancy, good job, says Rhonda. Yeah, who has a bonnet better than that? Asks Bree. Look at her fancy hat. Bonnet, excuse me. Hi, everyone, says Grace as she rides up on her bicycle. Everyone gushes over her très fancy bonnet. Oh, this old thing, she says. It's new. It has real artificial flowers. Real artificial flowers. My mom bought it for me. There's her fancy hat. Wow. Sacre bleu! Oh no, I can't believe it. Grace's bonnet is fancier than mine. If my hat isn't the fanciest, then I won't win the contest. She's a little worried about winning the contest, although I really do love her tiara. That should be enough. She's got a pretty fancy hat. Then I get an idea that's simply magnifique. That's French for magnificent. I'll get some help from Mother Nature and use real flowers. Bree and I hurry to Mrs. Devine's house. She has the most beautiful white roses we've ever seen or smelled. May we please use some of your flowers for our bonnets? I ask. Of course, says Mrs. Devine. She does look divine. Those white roses are gorgeous. All right. Ooh la la! These purple flowers are gorgeous. I say, those are lilacs. Don't they smell wonderful? Says Mrs. Devine. But I wouldn't recommend them. Their strong fragrance tends to attract the bugs. Bugs, yuck. I picked some daffodils instead. Bree takes some moonflowers. They bloom when the sun goes down, she tells me. Merci, we tell Mrs. Devine. That's French, but thank you. Here's Mrs. Devine and the lilacs. And there they go, off with their flowers, ready to make their hats. Bree and I added the flowers to our bonnets. Oh, they're looking pretty good, those bonnets. I am almost 100% positive that my bonnet is much fancier than Grace's now. There's Bree's bonnet. See those pretty little blue flowers? They're not open yet, but they will open up as soon as the sun goes down. But then I see Grace. She made her bonnet fancier too. I can't wait to lead the parade, says Grace. See you at the contest. Look at Grace's fancy bonnet. Now I need an even fancier bonnet. I follow my nose back to Mrs. Devine's garden and I see a butterfly. That gives me a fantastic idea. Look at that butterfly she saw. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that's nice. And those lilacs are my favorite flower. I need to hurry because the contest is about to start. It's a lovely spring day. Even the trees smell wonderful. I'm going to get a butterfly to land on my bonnet, I tell Bree. How are you going to get a butterfly to stay on your bonnet? Bree asks. You'll see, she says. There's her bonnet now. And look at all the kids with their fancy bonnets. Getting ready for the parade. I arrive at the contest. Wow, Nancy's bonnet has a real butterfly on it, says Lionel. Now that's fancy, says Rhonda. Merci, I say. Butterflies adore lilacs. That's why it's staying on my bonnet. I feel elated. That's fancy for really happy. Even Grace's bonnet isn't as fancy as mine. Look at all those bonnets. Look at, they used their helmets to make a bonnet. That's a good idea. And a pretty hat. All the flowers. Oh, I like the chicken on the baseball cap. That's funny. And there's the moonflowers. And there's the fancy hat. She doesn't look too happy. Then, guess what happened? Not only did the butterfly like her hat, but a honeybee flies near me, then a ladybug, and then a dragonfly. Shoo, shoo, get away, I say. You knew those flowers attracted bugs, Bree tells me. Oh, this is unbearable, which is fancy for, I can't take it. I run, I hide, and I toss off my bonnet. Look at all of those critters after her. And she finally gives up and tosses the bonnet on the ground. Look at all those bees and bugs. Are you okay, Nancy? Bree asks. Yes, I say. I guess I lost the contest, but at least I got rid of the bugs. Then the flowers on Bree's bonnet begin to bloom. It's sublime. That's fancy for really beautiful. They are moonflowers, Bree tells everyone. They bloom when the sun starts to set. So I figured that'd be about the time the parade starts. Don't they smell wonderful? Oh, there's the chickens. Where is Bree in her bonnet? There she is. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Let's see. So Bree wins the contest, says Mrs. Devine. Hooray! Bree will lead the Easter parade, we all shout. Happy Easter, everyone. So here is the Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. There's the parade. Everyone's on the parade. It's just wonderful. So it's springtime now where we are, and there's a few flowers blooming. So make your hats, whether it's out of the flowers you find in the house or the ones that you find outside. And go for a walk either in your house or outside on your driveway or down your street, but keep some distance from everyone and take some pictures. Send me some pictures and attach them on here in the comments. I'd love to see all of your hats. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you again at the library, I'm sure. Bye-bye.